It's shocking, and we consider this really to be a scandal.
That's how the Delaware Riverkeeper Network describes the inaction by the New Jersey DEP to revelations of high levels of perfluorinated chemicals in the raw groundwater that feeds the water supply in two South Jersey towns. The organization is asking federal officials to conduct a health survey near the Solvay-Solexis facility in Thoroughfare and in nearby Paulsboro.
PFNA is a known toxic chemical, and in our water it has significant health impacts. We know this because perfluorinated chemicals are being studied by independent scientific laboratories and various independent studiers who are evaluating what the human health effects are as well as wildlife effects of perfluorinated chemicals, which PFNA, PFOA, and PFOS are all part of.
The Delaware Riverkeeper Network obtained the information about the levels through an Open Public Records Act request. The information shows many of New Jersey's water supplies are contaminated with perfluorinated chemicals.
The people in Paulsboro and perhaps other water supplies around Paulsboro, because that was the only water department that was actually tested back in 2009, are not receiving treatment for these chemicals as far as we know. When you go to the website for the Paulsboro Water Department, they do not list PFNA as one of the chemicals that they are removing from their water.
The organization believes the Solvay-Solexis plant is the source.
And the reason we say that is because both of those chemicals are used in a patented process by the Solvay-Solexis facility to make products. So they use these chemicals and they emit a lot of them, according to their report to the Environmental Protection Agency, to the water and the air, and they've done that over the years.
An advisory panel that recommends setting safety limits for contaminants in drinking water recommended a tough new standard for one of these pollutants, but in a published report, DEP officials say they are waiting for the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to take action. That could take 7 years.
New Jersey began, through its Drinking Water Quality Institute, the process of setting safe drinking water standards for PFOA in New Jersey, and they had begun looking at other PFCs. That is what we need to have happen here. We have a high amount of these perfluorinated chemicals in our drinking water. We need to have action now. We can't be sitting around and waiting for other agencies to analyze this.
The perfluorinated chemical contamination may not be limited to just groundwater. Data collected by the Delaware River Basin Commission and published in a report last year shows evidence that the chemical has moved into the Delaware River.
They found extraordinarily high levels of PFNA in the ambient water quality, that is, in the actual river when they sampled. And they found it around the area of the Solvay-Solexis plant and downstream. So we know that PFNA is in the water of the Delaware River, at least when they sampled from 2007 to 2009. Also, they found very high levels of PFNUA, which is also called C11, which, remember, they also use this chemical at the Solvay facility. They found that in the fish flesh in very, very high levels, higher than any other chemical that they found of perfluorinated group.